it's Noctis. Subscribe to Vincent Valentine EX Turk channel.
Hello, Mars, Fins of Chaos. This is your King Noctis Valentine EX Turk, and we're going to be talking about more. We're going to go now to some more Final Fantasy 15 continuity. I mean, I know I've been doing too many Final Fantasy 15s, but there's so much lore to discover at Final Fantasy 15. Now, we know Ardyn is 3,000, and he controls a star 3,000 years old, and he controls a Star Scourge. Meaning, he would have to have a run into all the previous Lucis Kings right before him. Of course, well, I'll have the audio clip already on the end, but the audio clip would explain it all. When Ardyn says at the end when he dies officially, what would you do? Banish the demons or banish me from history? Meaning that what the previous Lucis Kings did were just banish him, from history, thinking that was gonna work, but they didn't know the source of Ardyn's power. The source of Ardyn's power is the stuff is the one thing that every Lucis King wants to protect. And I'm not talking about crystal, but a part of the crystal. Now, what do you mean when I say, what do you mean by it's part of the crystal? The Ring of Lucii. Not realizing that's how come every other king before Noctis have failed. Now, Regis is not in this because Regis didn't directly fight Ardyn, even though he really wanted to. And at this point, Regis is really weakened by the old war, so Regis would lose his battle with Ardyn. But this does not count because King's Glaive has confirmed that King Regis has not fought Ardyn. In fact, King Regis died at the hands of General Glocka, one of Ardyn's associates. Because remember, Ardyn is still Chancellor of the Niflheim years before. Way before Ravis joined the Niflheim Empire. Way before any of this stuff happened. Ardyn is the one who, remember, I said again, and I said again before, and I'll say it again before anyone gets this confused, but I've said it before in my past Final Fantasy 15 lore videos that he's the one who spoon-fed Idolus. Idolus wanted to control the world and become the ruler of the entire world. Pretty much a dictator. Ardyn told him that there's a power that's beyond that. The power to control the stars and the universe. And Idolus wanted to turn everybody into demons because he was one. But Ardyn gave him the means to do it. Gave him some of the power to do that. And Idolus was like, you know what? I'm going to appoint you to High Chancellor. I like your ideas. You think just like me. But, again, Idolus doesn't fully trust Ardyn because Ardyn's not a trustworthy guy. I mean, let's be honest. The minute I played the game, he was never trustworthy. But back to the subject. Ardyn would have had to fight some of the kings of Lucius. Not every single king got killed by the Niflheim Empire. But who's the one who got the Niflheim Empire to constantly start war with Insomnia? It was Ardyn, because Ardyn told Idolus the crystal that Idolus needed was in Insomnia. And remember, Ardyn for years have played both sides. He's played both He's played both the Lucius Kylian family and the Niflheim Empire all this time. That's why Ardyn is the true bad guy. Again, I'll go back to this again. Idolus would have it would have took a lot longer for Idolus to mess with the Kingdom of Insomnia, but it was because Ardyn played both sides only to get what he wanted. What Ardyn's plan was Ardyn's plan originally was way before Noctis came in, way before Noctis was even thought of, way before Noctis's mother was pregnant with Noctis, and way before that, before young King Regis and A King's Tale. Ardyn's plan was for the Kingdom of Insomnia and the Kingdom of Niflheim to kill each other off, so Ardyn could take things from both and become the Ascended King like he wanted to become. He wanted to take both the crystal and ring. That way he could cheat his ascension and become the Ascended King like he wanted to originally. But he would have to have Insomnia and Niflheim kill each other off. So it's been, a whole millennia of wars between the Niflheim and the kingdom of Niflheim and the kingdom of Insomnia. And because Insomnia stands up to bullies, no offense. I love Tenebrae as a country, but Tenebrae, you gotta step your game up, Tenebrae. You just let the Niflheim Empire take your stuff, and take the person that could have been your king. You never try to fight back or reason with that. But nonetheless, that's another video and another day. But other than that, Insomnia has this whole stand up for yourself mentality and stuff like that. If anything, Insomnia is like more democratic, as well as the Niflheim Empire is more Republican, except kind of turn their test subjects and their civilians into demons. Don't ask why. That's just how it is in this game. But nonetheless, Ardyn's plan was to get both kingdoms to kill each other off, and then he'd take whatever is left and become the true ascetic king he wanted to become. Now you say, why is this important? I mean, think about it. How many kings failed to defeat Ardyn? If Ardyn is 3,000 years, and not everybody became ascended. Remember, there's only I think 9. Yeah, there's only 9 members of the Knights of Round. In any Final Fantasy game, of course, it's that way because they based it off the King Arthur mythos. The Knights of the Round Table. But there's, in this particular lore, only certain kings could become one of the higher ascended ones. King Regis was one of them. He was actually the newest one. He was actually the 9th member after Kingsglaive, and that's why he vouched for Nyx Ulrich, so Nyx Ulrich got some of that power, because Regis gave some of his power gave some of his power to Nyx, even though the other kings objected to it. Even Izunia, Ardyn's older brother, objected to it. But nonetheless, besides the Ascended King, there's been a lot of kings and queens who defeated Ardyn, but not properly, because Ardyn kept coming back, because they didn't know the source of Ardyn's power, like Noctis did. And the only reason Noctis knew the source of Ardyn's power is because he paid a visit to Bahamut. Remember, Ardyn sealed Bahamut in the crystal, making it impossible for him to leave until Noctis gets the power, and he does. He gets the power to do what he wants, so he frees Bahamut. And as a trade for that, not only Noctis gains the power to do anything he wants, but also the knowledge to defeat Ardyn, because only Bahamut has that knowledge, because he knew when Ardyn has changed the rules of the ring, took the crystal. In fact, it was actually Ardyn who actually created the Ring of Lucii, if you really come to think of it. So why does all the kings and queens of the Lucius Kylan family think it's actually a blessed item or a good item? Why do they think it was a good item when it was actually an evil item? Because Ardyn, and this is a fan theory, so I'm going to say it right there, it's a fan theory. Ardyn could have crafted the ring, so he knows the rules. So, with that says, with that being said, to this extent, is that, that ring was evil all along. They didn't want to believe that. They thought Ardyn could just be defeated like that. And they thought if they just used the Ring of Lucii to banish him, because, the Ring of Lucii was supposed to be a ring of light, and demons hate light, and the crystal. But then again, like Ignis says in the DLC, maybe it's an alternative facts, because Idolus wanted the crystal, and, Idolus, well, wasn't really human. He just only had a human shell. I mean, remember, go back to my theory video where I talk about how Idolus Outer Cap is Patient Zero, the Star Scourge. Then now this will actually make more sense to you. This theory will make more sense to you, but, maybe the crystal is something they can't touch. Maybe if they can't touch light, they can touch the crystal. Maybe it's possible, because Ardyn is a lot more worse than Idolus when it comes to Star Scourge. Ardyn is the walking Star Scourge. If he exists, the Star Scourge affects the whole world of Eos. But the Lucius kings that got defeated before got defeated because they didn't want to believe that their ring was a bad ring. When really, Ardyn could have been the one who crafted the ring on purpose, making extra rules in it, so every king and queen would have to sacrifice themselves to beat him, but they never sacrificed the ring or sacrificed themselves. Thus, Ardyn kept coming back over and over and over. And that's how, because of Ardyn's immortality. Now, what that means is that, yes, they did try to banish him through history using the Battle of the Ring, but he's always came back. And, he's always came back stronger than he was. In fact, he didn't fix the problem. Have you seen the Godzilla movie, where where people were shooting those nukes at Godzilla, and Godzilla was eating those nukes, and he was getting stronger? It's kind of like that effect on this one. Every time you use the ring to banish him through history and not get the ring destroyed and banish him through history, he just gets back stronger. So it's actually some of the Lucis Actually kings and queens fought for him getting stronger and stronger each and every time, because they didn't want to destroy the ring, meaning they have to sacrifice themselves and get rid of the ring once and for all, because what if Ardyn made the ring? Now, what do you think about this theory right here? I'm going to leave you with a clip to make you understand the theory a lot better, so may the crystal be with you, and just listen to the clip right at the end. This theory will make more sense. May the crystal be with you.
Now it is over, Majesty. What will you do? Banish the demons and bring peace? Erase me from history.